People of the state of, oh wait, gotta do my little tricks with the YouTube. Okay, chat's off. All right, this is people of the state of Michigan versus Jessica Mobley, 1923134. Miss Mobley is here for sentencing. She had pled to a charge of embezzlement by an agent or trustee of 200 or more but less than 1,000, which is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year and or $2,000 or 3 times the amount embezzled, whichever is greater. It was set for sentencing originally in June of 2020, and then it was adjourned. She was going to pay $400, keep paying $400, and we would reset it for May and see how she did. It's now been reset, and we have Mr. Fitz here as the prosecuting attorney assigned by the Attorney General's office, and Ms. Hines has taken over as defense attorney. And we have Ms. Mobley appearing by video, and we have Ms. Dotson as representative of the victim, and we're all here for sentencing today. So, Mr. Fitz, what has taken place as far as restitution, and where are we at with that as far as what your records show, or Ms. Hines, if you know?
I do have that, Your Honor. The court is aware that it ordered $11,666.58. To date, there has been $1,050 received, so there's an amount due and owing of $10,616.58. And Judge, if I could inquire again, too, I know the court just gave that again. The precise date of the original plea was what date, Your Honor?
Oh, yes, sir. She had pled on January 15th, 2020.
Thank you. And Your Honor, I don't know if
it was agreed that it would be adjourned in order for her to pay restitution and extend it beyond the 1 year and have it reheard. And then once we got to the point in January, then Mr. Marvin had won the election, so we had to go through the process of reappointing both prosecution and defense. And so we've received the notice that Mr. Fitz was appointed on April 8th, and we set it for a sentencing with Ms. Hines. So that's where we're at.
Thank you, Your Honor. Does the court wish me to allocute at this time, Your Honor? Or
yes, yes, let's do it that way. So Mr. Fitz, and then we'll hear from Ms. Dotson, and then we'll hear from Ms. Hines and Ms. Mobley.
Well, Your Honor, in regard to sentencing here today, and Ms. Dotson can certainly augment it with her comments. I think she's feeling a similar frustration as the prosecutor's office is in this. If Ms. Mobley had kept up her payment plan, she would have been, my rough mathematics would have been around $6,600 would have already been paid. And she's clearly fallen far short of that. It doesn't look like she's made a real concerted effort to even get close to that. You know, and we do know, obviously, Your Honor, pandemic is a plus and a minus. You know, I'm wondering where her, if she did receive, you know, payments for the special payments that were provided for COVID relief, where that money went to. I know a lot of people are spending it on boats, on TVs, things of that sort. Restitution should be at the top of her list, and it doesn't appear that that's been the case. If she did receive any of those checks. This is very frustrating for business. They're trying to make a living, trying to stay afloat, and to have their own employees stealing from them it's not a good picture. I finally note, Your Honor, that in this case that you know, I think it's also disappointing that when confronted, well, it's good she has a limited prior record from what I see. When she was initially confronted by law enforcement about this, she lied. She said that she hadn't done this at all. Then she sweetened it up just a little bit, said, well, she'd done a one-time episode of $5,000 or $500, excuse me, and 500 versus 11,000 is quite a bit of a difference. We're hopeful that she's, you know, come to grips with reality in that regard, Your Honor, but we do feel that some incarceration is appropriate at this time because she's had all sorts of time to pay off, make a better effort, keep up with the payments. 400 a month is not easy, but it's doable. I think many of us can think back to working two, three different types of jobs, and there are for hire signs all over the country, all over, I know, Cass County, St. Joe County, and so forth. I'd be curious to hear what she's doing for employment, Your Honor. So with that,
thank you.
You bet, Your Honor. Just pass it on to Ms. Dodson, then I'll.
All right, Ms. Dodson, this is your opportunity to let me know how it's affected the company and your business. Go ahead.
Well, Your Honor, can I also state that the number or the figure, I guess, for what she has already paid is incorrect. I have copies of all of the money orders that she gave, and she's actually only paid $650. And for the last payment that she paid on September the 8th of 2020, she also attached a note with that. So I have the records that she's actually, in fact, only paid $650. But yes, Your Honor, Mr. Fitz is correct. This has happened 2 years ago now, but we're still feeling the effects here in the store. Shrink is a big deal. It affects our, bottom line, our profitability. But it also creates a trust factor. It's like you said, it's hard enough to find people to work for you. But when you get employees that steal from you, it makes it that much harder to hire or, trust people to help you run your business. And, the effects of COVID, people are getting hefty payments, and it's hard enough to get employees, period, let alone being able to trust the ones that do come in. So I would just say, I would agree that we are still feeling the effects of this situation not being taken care of even this much later. Affecting sales bonuses of my team even still to this day. And I think I had spoken to that last time we had met as well.
Yes. Great, thank you. Ms. Hines?
Thanks, Your Honor. Jessica and I did talk. She's had a difficult time finding employment, as she says. She is working at the school in Colon now, and will get some paychecks coming in. She had car issues, was not able to get to a job. She also said that housing has been a problem for her. She's having to move this weekend to another new place. Really, I know life's kind of been frustrating for her, and I know difficult, and one of the reasons why she hasn't made payment. So that's as much as I know. Unfortunately, I wasn't involved at the beginning of this case, so I don't have all the details of really what happened or what caused what precipitated this case. But I know Jessica is kind of in a tight spot right now, and I guess I'm going to leave it to her to explain to court where she's at and what her plan would be moving ahead. Thank you.
Ms. Dodson, before I hear from Ms. Mobley, I want to understand, when did she start working there? What was her job there? All I have in the affidavit is that she would return items, and they found one $179 jacket, and then one involving 2 pressure washers for $500. So what was going on that it got to 11,000 or so, and what was she doing there? What was her job?
Yeah, I don't recall the exact time frame or when she was hired. I do believe she worked for us for about 6 to 8 months. In that time frame, yes, that's what happened. There was false returns. Customers would come in and purchase things. Ms. Mobley was a cashier for us. So when customers would return items, they would either use their rewards account to keep track of their receipts, or they were just a regular cash customer. But based off of certain items, she was returning those after they were bought by the customer. And we had a whole file folder of returns that we had found. I believe I don't know if I'm allowed to speak to that, but initially when it started with her, I had had her arrested at the store when she returned an item that a customer still had. And then I had left the company, or not the company, but the store for a lot of time. The store manager that was here at that time was taking over and going through items, but really track of inventory, and customers were trying to buy items that our system said we had. Not actually have them, and that started the investigation.
So when you said that you had her arrested when a customer bought an item and she returned it.
Yes, sir.
What does that mean? I mean, somebody bought it and then she returned it. So where's the problem there?
Yeah, I'll explain it. So the night that happened, her and I were the only ones in the store at that time waiting for the afternoon crew to come in. A customer had bought a jacket, a winter jacket. I went outside to help another customer. And then in that time, she had returned that jacket. We were already a little bit skeptical of how many returns we were getting and things like that. So the customer that she returned the jacket from happened to be a rewards member. So I called him just to say, hey, you were just here and I see that there's a return on this jacket. Is everything okay? Or, how can we make this right with you? And that was when he stated, well, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm wearing the jacket.
Okay. So he didn't return the jacket, or she didn't return the jacket. She scanned
Correct.
Another item as if it had been returned and took the money.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yes.
So, Ms. Mobley, what can you tell me? Your attorney said you'd like to tell me what's going on.
I mean, as far as what's going on right now, since court last time, my transmission went out in my car. So then I started working with a friend at another place, and that happened at a couple different places. And then she would not go to work. And so we ended up pointing out at both of those places and getting fired from both places. And then I went without work since about November. And I was living with my brother during all this in his basement. And then I got kicked out of my brother's, which is fair because I was not working, didn't have a car. I went and stayed in a camper all winter long, which wasn't pleasant. But anyways, and then I found a couple of roommates. One of them has moved out. I still have one living where I'm at now, but we have to move out by this weekend because they're cabins that get rented out for the summer. So we are literally supposed to be out by tomorrow. So we're they're packing stuff now. Anyways, so yeah, and I have not been working since about November, which is when I last made my payment. And I know that Courtney's saying that she has proof of all this, but I think some receipts need to be put together because I know I paid more than $600. What the other guy has sounds about right to me, probably right around the $1,000 range. I know that's not $11,000. I know I owe a lot of money on this, which is fine, and I don't mind paying it back. Like I said, I have been through some not so pleasant times in the last few months, which is unfortunate because my whole goal is to pay this back and just get it out of my situation and not have to deal with it anymore because frankly, how this all started was not a very good situation I was in the first place. And that person has went to jail and I got away from that situation. And so this is the last tie that I have to that situation. And so I just really want to get it out because I don't want to have to deal with that part of my life anymore. I'm moving to Union City this weekend and I have a job at the school here in Colon, and I'm supposed to be starting a job in Coldwater at another factory so I can work 2 jobs finally because my roommate has 2 vehicles now, and I'm allowed to borrow one of them for work. So I'll be working 2 jobs. So it's unfortunate this has popped up again now because I'm literally now in this predicament where I can finally have a vehicle to go to work and I can get 2 jobs now instead of no job or 1 job, and I can finally start paying this back. And my plan was for my second job that I'm getting, I'll be making way more. I don't make that much at the school. I just work in the lunchroom. But that's enough to pay my bills. So my second job, my plan was to send all the money that I make from that paycheck to this restitution and finally be able to just pay it off and get it done and over with. I know everybody's sick of coming to court. I'm sick of it. I just want to get it done and over with. I feel bad for Courtney and them. I didn't really realize the effect I had put on the store, to be honest, at all. I mean, I kept saying I did, but I don't think it really sunk in until I lived in the camper this winter. And when I went through all that, I really realized how bad I had messed up and what I did to the store, to the people I worked with. I mean, everything.
All right. Okay. So Miss Dodson, unfortunately, as a misdemeanor, I can't assign Department of Corrections agents to be the supervisor. Now, if this had been resolved in district court, we could put her on probation and do that. In circuit court, Department of Corrections agents can be probation agents and monitor assaultive crimes, domestic violence crimes if they're misdemeanors, but they're not to do these types of crimes. And so I don't have an agent, and we don't have an agreement with the district court probation department to send cases back to be reviewed. So there's two things I can do. And again, there's nothing like a sentencing date to make people go and find all kinds of jobs and all kinds of opportunities to then miraculously start the very next Monday. I hear this every day. So, but what you want is the money back, and the only other consequence is jail time, and that doesn't do you any good, but it would do society some good to show that there is a consequence for it. But I'm going to turn it, and what would you, I can adjourn this again for 6 months and see if she's sincere in this, and if she misses a payment, we'll accelerate it and do it. We're already beyond the year, but she's agreed to this process, so she's waived any jurisdiction issues as far as the court having the authority to sentence beyond a year. So would you be agreeable to that, or do you just want to be done with it and have me order whatever I'm going to order and then try and collect the money?
Yeah, you're right, Your Honor. This has been going on for a while, and we did try to get some money out of it, and we would like that back. Ultimately, you're right. I can't get any money from her if she's in jail. But here I feel like, got away with all of this stuff. And, the last correspondence I had was, I know I didn't make a payment in August. I'm aware what could happen if I miss a payment. Anyways, I gave my last job a 2 weeks notice, and I have to wait to start my new job. And then I'll be sending money again. And that was, like I said, back in September. So I would like to say that Miss Mobley is sincere, and, maybe she had a rough bout, is going to get back on her feet and pay, but I really don't think so. So I would leave that to your discretion, Your Honor. I don't know what to do at this point.
All right. Well, the goal is to put this off for you to pay the money, Miss Mobley, and you didn't do that. You quit jobs when you didn't have new jobs, when you still had obligations to take care of this. You had circumstances that were difficult. So I'm not going to continue. You're going to pay the money over time. You're going to end up paying it all. But I'm just going to continue with sentencing and finish it up. So again, this was a course of conduct over a period of 6 months where you were able to get $11,000 from your employer. My family's worked retail. My wife's managed retail. I can tell you that all the employees there suffered from this, that the management lost money from this. They also face their own suspicions from their regional and national people. They would send people in because they're suspected of doing it or letting it happen when you're doing it. It puts everybody on edge. We've lost so many retail businesses in the county already because of this, and people think that retail fraud and embezzlement from your employer has no consequences, and it's wrong. And again, I recognize that they don't pay much more than minimum wage to start, but that doesn't give you reason to steal from them just because you think you are owed more money or anything else. If you're not happy with what you're making, leave and go somewhere else. I'm ordering 30 days jail credit for apparently 0 days. You never served any jail. You've had over a year and a half to get this taken care of, and you've only made a few payments, whether it be 600, whether it pay 1,000. Mr. Fitz, where were your numbers from that you had a smaller figure than Ms. Dodson?
Your Honor, we had contact, I checked with my victim rights coordinator, and we had contacted an employee with the store and got that figure. I'm not sure why there's a difference on that, but Ms. Dodson indicates she does have the actual receipt. So we'd be glad, Your Honor, to circle back with the person we talked to initially and see if we can get a clarification for the court on that.
And Your
All right,
Honor,
so
I can submit those receipts as well.
all right, so I don't know where this came from. Where did this come from?
Well, Your Honor, I want to be,
That was a payment that was made to our.
Good. Where did it come from that you got it?
Marissa.
So Marissa sent us a copy of a payment that they have in their account for $400 from February of 2020.
She said it was forwarded to Ms. Dodson.
And it was sent to Ms. Dodson. So that's just one payment, but there's been others made directly to the company, Ms. Dodson?
Yes, Your Honor, there's been 3 other payments.
and Judge,
Okay, and what the, I'm sorry?
I was going to say the math on that, Your Honor, would take it up to our amount of 1,050 because she, Ms. Dodson indicated 650. You just mentioned 400, so perhaps that math shows that maybe that would.
All right. So what was your restitution amount, Mr. Fitz?
$1,050.
No, what was the total left unpaid?
Okay, the total left unpaid is $10,616.58.
All right, restitution of $10,616.58 to be paid to Family Farm and Home in Three Rivers, and 30 days jail to commence next Friday at 5 p.m., May the 21st. And that will give you an opportunity to get moved and get moved in, and then get your stuff straight, and then report to the jail May 21st at 5 p.m. to begin your sentence. There's also a $50 state cost and a $75 Crime Victims' Rights Act, and I won't order anything more as the amount of restitution is so great. All right, that concludes our case for the day, and if you don't report to the jail, Ms. Mobley, you'll face additional sanctions, so make sure you